Hey there, today we're going to wrap a perm and I'm going to show you a couple of things that I do that make wrapping a perm a little easier. You're going to make sure that you have your perm rods, your end papers, clippies, a comb, and a water bottle. Let's get started. I'm going to begin in the crown area of the head and I am going to make subsections that are the width of my perm rod and about half of what the diameter of the actual perm rod is for my sections. So the width is going to be the width of the perm rod and the amount of hair is going to be half the size of the actual perm rod. Now these are not on base, they're a little bit closer to off base. I'm doing this for video purposes only. I would make that very top roller a little bit closer to the head so that I could, get that first turn a little bit closer to the scalp so that the perm wouldn't grow out too quickly. But let's move on. You'll also notice that I use an all-purpose comb instead of a rat tail comb. This is a personal preference. I have a little more ability of holding on to my comb because there's a little bit more there to hold on to. Also, I start in the back. As you see, I turned the mannequin around and saturated the hair. I turn the mannequin around, and the reason I do this is because when you get into the salon and you do 8 hours worth of work and somebody calls and wants a perm late in the day, you're going to be very tired. Your hands are going to be tired. Your arms are going to be tired. And instead of me lifting my hands up over the client's head for an hour or so, I have them bend their head forward. Now, again, I would not necessarily leave this much gap in between those two rollers, one going down the head toward the back and one going toward the front of the head. As I finish the front toward the face, I'm going to turn the head to the side. I'm going to stand in front of where I'm working and I'm going to begin placing on the side of the head. Again, I saturate the hair throughout this procedure and I go all the way to the back of the side and I place the perm rod near the top and do a little pie section, wrap that, and then I do a stair step down, placing the second perm rod, getting my width, and allowing those perm rods to go evenly toward the back of that row and down toward the nape. Now, it's going to feel awkward to you when you start doing it like this, but once you start placing those perm rods in this format, it's going to be so much easier to get it all done and you're not fighting. You're not having to look for one of those little bitty short perm rods and your hands are not hitting both sides of those perm rods, knocking them loose. So this is just something that I have done since I was in beauty school. My instructor taught me how to do this, and I do my perm rods like this, and I also do my roller sets like this. I also want to talk a little bit about the end papers that I use. You'll see and notice that I use 2 perm papers for each subsection that I'm rolling. I do this to, kind of capture any loose ends or maybe some short ends that won't necessarily smoothly roll on the perm rod. And I've always done that too. I put one on the bottom and one on the top. And if you'll slow the video down, if you can do that, the way that I have that, and I teach this in the classroom, make sure that your techniques go into a routine, because as you start in the salon, you need to be able to know how much time it's going to take you to complete a full head of wrapping a perm. And if you do the procedure time after time exactly the same, you're not ever going to get behind on your schedule. As I mentioned a little earlier, If this were an actual client where I was going to be putting a chemical, I would not, as you can see on that top row there, I would not have that much of a drag. I would do more of a half off base placement. That end paper that I use here in a minute, it's a little wrinkled. It was new. I just hated to not use it. But no, I don't use the same end papers in the salon. We're about to finish up with this tutorial, and just have questions ready for me. I'll try to answer anything I can for you. Perms can be fun, perms can be frustrating, but the technique and the procedures that you use are so important. Thanks for watching this video. Here is a diagram to place your perm rods and your rollers. I hope this helps. Again, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day.